Hello everyone, I'm Ankit and you're watching StudyIQ IS English. In our today's video, we'll try to understand what is the role that a governor can play in case a state legislative assembly elections results into a hung assembly. Now, the reason why we have picked up this topic for our today's discussion is very simple. As you all know, recently the elections in the Tamil Nadu State Legislative Assembly concluded and no particular political party on its own have gotten a majority of the seats. However, there is this one particular political party, TVK, which has gotten the highest number of seats, and as a result, people expected that the actor turned politician, Mr. Vijay, would be sworn in as the next Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, possibly today. But this situation, however, presently is a bit uncertain. And the fact is that the governor of Tamil Nadu, Mr. Rajendra Arlekar, has insisted that the TVK should show a proof of majority before they are invited by the governor to form the government in the state of Tamil Nadu. So as a result, in our today's discussion, we'll first try to understand what are the discretionary powers that the governor has according to the constitution and according to political situations, and then we'll try to understand what is a governor's role in case any assembly shows up a hung assembly, right? In case when there is no clear winner after the elections. Similarly, we'll also try to ascertain in the past how have governors acted in a similar situation and why sometimes this act of governor to exercise their situational or constitutional discretion may have resulted into controversy. Now, the notes which I will be using for our today's session, these are very important for your exam and therefore you can download them by going to a particular Telegram group called as ETS Live. And while you're at it, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel as well. Okay, so let us start our today's discussion by understanding what are the status of different political parties in the present assembly of the Tamil Nadu government, right? After what has happened in the elections. Now, as I told you, after the elections, no particular political party have emerged as a majority in the 234-member State Legislative Assembly of Tamil Nadu. So, as you can understand, as this assembly has a strength of 234 members, therefore to form a government you need more than half seats, that is you need at least 118 legislators, any particular political party or a broader coalition. On one hand, the TVK has gotten the maximum amount of seats, which is 108, but it is still 10 less than the required number of majority, right? Now, there is a caveat here. Mr. Vijay, he himself contested on 2 different seats, so effectively, the strength of TVK in the State Legislative Assembly of Tamil Nadu goes down to 107 because he needs to resign from one of these 2 seats that he has contested from. Therefore, to form a government, his party needs to ally with another major political party so as to get above the fact of halfway seats. That is, to secure at least 118 seats in order to form the government, you need to ally with another major political party in the state. And this is where the equation becomes a bit more complex. Now, after TVK, it was DMK-led alliance which got the second highest number of seats, followed by AIDMK led alliance which also included BJP. But neither of these 3 political entities on their own have the required number of majority seats which you require to form the government. In terms of parties, DMK is the second largest party with 59 seats, AIDMK is the third largest party with 47 seats, Congress on its own have secured 5 seats, PMK has secured 4 seats, and other smaller political parties in the state, including the BJP, they have gotten 1 or 2 seats maximum. So this is why the situation becomes complex, and to solve this complexity, you require the governor to act on their discretion. Because the Congress, although it has announced that it will join alliance with TVK, but still adding the number of seats of TVK and Congress, the number of seats does not go beyond 117, which you require to form the government. And as a result, parallel talks are being ongoing between TVK and AIDMK alliance on the behest of BJP. And therefore, the composition of the new government as of today remains uncertain. And therefore, the role of the governor here becomes very important. So what role can governor play? In order to understand this, we need to first take a look at the constitution, particularly Article 163 of the constitution. Article 163 of the constitution provides for council of ministers. Now, if you read Article 163 of the constitution, it says there shall be a council of ministers in a particular state which is headed by chief minister. And what do? They aid and advise the governor in exercise of his or her functions, right? So this is the major part of how a parliamentary system of governance works in a particular state in India, right? But this article itself gives another caveat. It says there is a situation where the governor may be required by the constitution or otherwise to act in their own discretion, which means not always the governor is bound by the aid and advice of council of ministers. But here presently there is no council of ministers in the state of Tamil Nadu. So who will advise the governor? The constitution says the governor here can act on their own discretion, right? Now the Constitution of India provides for certain constitutional discretion, which may include reservation of bill for the consideration of the president, which happens normally even if there is a council of ministers. Similarly, if the governor wants to recommend the implication or application of president's rule in a particular state, that decision also is a constitutional discretion of the governor. Similarly, governor can exercise his function as the administrator of an adjoining union territory if they have been given an additional charge of it without adhering to the aid and advice of the council of ministers. Similarly, they can also seek information from the chief ministers with regards to administrative and legislative functions in the state. So these are the discretions that are provided in the constitution where the governor can exercise his or her own personal judgment, not relying specially on the aid and advice of the council of ministers. But there might be certain political situations which exist currently in the state of Tamil Nadu. Here governor can exercise their own what is called as a situational discretion, right? So in what cases can a governor exercise situational discretion? Let us now understand that. Now first, if the governor wants to appoint a chief minister, especially when no party has a clear majority in the state legislative assembly, this is an example of constitutional discretion. And this is what is happening presently in the state of Tamil Nadu. Similarly, the governor can also dismiss the council of ministers when the council of ministers cannot prove their majority in the floor of the house, or the governor can also decide to dissolve the state legislative assembly if the council of ministers have lost their majority in the house. So these are the examples where the constitutional does not say so, but the political situations become such that the governor may require to act independently, right? Now, coming back to this situation, I told you this is a discretionary power of the governor, but so that the governors don't use this discretionary power, there have been two commissions that have been set up which have laid down certain principles on how should the governor can act constitutionally in case of such situational discretion. So let us understand that in great detail. Now first, in June 1983, the central government had set up a commission under the chairmanship of Justice R.S. Sarkaria. The responsibility of this commission was to examine the relations between the center and the state governments. And this commission, it also dealt with the role that the governors can play in choosing a chief minister, especially when there is no particular political party who have gotten the majority. And this commission laid down certain guidelines for the governor to follow in such situations. So what are those guidelines? Let us now understand this. Now, first of all, this commission, R.S. Sarkaria Commission, specifically stated that the governor's task is to see that the government is formed. Rather, the governor on their own shall not try to form a government based on which government would follow the policy of the governor, right? So what is governor's constitutional role? To support the formation of the government. Now, in case a party or a combination of party, that is alliance of party, are able to secure a majority in the parliament or in the state legislative assembly, they shall be invited by the governor to form the government, right? So this is how the R.S. Sarkaria Commission talks about how the governor should act in case a political party or a coalition of political parties are able to secure majority on their own. But what if a political party has not gotten a clear majority? The commission also talks about it. The commission says that the governor can follow certain order of precedence in order to invite those people who have a stake in formation of the government. Here, the governor can first consider a pre-poll alliance. If they have secured more number of seats, they can be invited to form the government. If that fails, then the governor can invite the largest single party who is able to gain majority and support on its own. Third, if the second instance fails, then the governor can invite a post-election coalition that has the required members. But here, they need to prove that they have the required support to form the government. And if that also fails, then a post-election coalition can be invited where some partners are willing to support the government from outside, not become an integral part of the government. So this is what RS Sarkaria Commission prescribes or gives guidelines to the governors to follow in case no party has secured a majority on their own. Right. Now what you need to understand, the Sarkaria Commission had recommended that once you're given an opportunity to form the government, the Chief Minister shall seek a vote of confidence in the Assembly within 30 days of taking over the government. And it also stated that the governor should not risk determining whether the person or any political party has a majority outside the floor of the house. The only place where you can prove, or when any political party can prove that they have a majority in the house, is basically in the floor of the house itself, not anywhere outside that area, right? So this is what RS Sarkaria Commission basically talks about in such situations. But in 2007, this then central government also formed another commission which was headed by former Chief Justice of India, Mr. M.M. Punchhi. And this Punchhi commission took a fresh look at the roles and responsibilities of how government should behave at various levels, that is at the levels of center and states, and how the relations between these two governments should be drawn back, right? Now this commission, it recommended that there should be a clear guidelines for appointment of chief ministers so that the governor's discretionary power which might arise due to certain political situations must be regulated. So they also laid down certain guidelines which are very similar yet a bit different than the Sarkaria Commission's recommendation. So here the Punchhi Commission specifically dealt with pre-poll alliances, especially in the case when no party has gotten a majority of their own, which I call a hung assembly. So here the M.M. Punchhi Commission stated that if any pre-poll alliance has gotten a seat, they can be considered as one political entity in order to form the government. And if that fails, there should be an order of precedence that the governor should follow one by one in order to enable what? In order to enable formation of the government. So here M.M. Punchhi Commission actually recommended that the governor should consider a group which has the largest pre-poll alliance in order to command the largest number of seats, and then they should be invited to form the government. If that fails, then the governor should invite single largest party which has shown support of others. If that also fails, then they can invite a post-electoral coalition where all parties are intending to join the government. If that fails, then the fourth option comes where the governor should invite a post-electoral alliance where some parties are willing to join the government and remaining of them are willing to support the government but from outside, right? So this is the order of precedence that the governor should follow. But the main thing that is remaining here, whether the government or any political party should be able to prove their majority even before they are invited to form the government, right? So this is where the problem has arisen in the present state of Tamil Nadu. Now, what has happened over the years? Let us now consider this. Over the years, there have been many instances where the governors have often not followed what these two respective commissions, that is Sarkaria Commission and Punchhi Commissions, have recommended. So here, governors have indeed exercised their own political as well as constitutional discretions. And some of these instances, which I'll quote you, have led to many controversies. First, in the recent memory, it happened in 2017. In 2017, elections happened in many states and union territories. In the state of Goa and Mizoram, no political party on their own got the majority. However, the Congress, it emerged as the single largest party without having a clear majority, right? But then governors, Mrs. Mridula Sinha and Mrs. Najma Abdullah, they invited BJP to form the government based on the letter that the BJP provided that they have secured support from other smaller political parties. So here governor actually relied on the fact that these parties who did not have the largest amount of seat, but they were able to prove the majority with a support letter that they have added from other political parties. Similarly, a bit more recently in 2018, in the state of Karnataka, after the elections, the BJP emerged as the single largest party. But here, the Congress and JDS, they formed an alliance after the end of the election that is called as a post-poll alliance, right? However, here, the governor, rather than inviting this post-poll alliance, the governor here invited the BJP to form the government, and its leader, Mr. B.S. Yediyurappa, was sworn in as the chief minister. Now, what happened? These opposition parties went to the court, and the court ordered the government to prove the majority within 24 hours. And failing to prove the majority, the then chief minister, Mr. Yediyurappa, has to resign from the office of CM in just a matter of days. So this is how exercise of situational discretion by the governor has led to many controversies, because the constitution is silent about it on how the governor should exercise this constitutional or situational discretion. Albeit, two commissions, that is Punchhi commissions and Sarkaria commissions, have laid down certain principles, but we have understood governor are not bound by it. So governors sometimes do follow it, sometimes they overlook it, and this has created a matter of controversy. So how this issue pans out? This issue might pan out in a way that we have discussed today. So we'll keep tabs on this kind of a development. Now, before we move on to a practice question that has appeared on this particular topic in the exam, there's an important announcement. The constitutional functionary, that is a governor of a state, is very important as far as parliamentary democracies are concerned. And multiple times questions have appeared on this topic. But in Indian polity, besides governor, there are many more constitutional functionaries that you have to cover, because polity is a very important part of UPSC syllabus, be it prelims, be it mains. Similarly, besides polity, there are history, economy and geography, which are other three important pillars of UPSC exam. Beyond these four subjects that I've talked about, there are other smaller subjects as well, which you for sure can't ignore. To cover each and every important aspects about all these subjects that I've talked about, you can consider taking admissions to P2I resolution batches. In P2I resolution batches, which are offered, by the way, separately for the students looking to give this exam in 2017 or 2027 or 2028, you will be provided not just with live classes and recorded lectures, but you also get access to one-to-one mentorship. This actually helps you a lot when you have a bit more doubts which you need to cover before you give the exams. Similarly, just reading about the important topics is not enough. You have to practice your learning, which you can do so with test series which we offer for both prelims and mains. These are already bundled with the P2I foundation courses. But the best part about the P2I foundation courses is that we reward you for success. Suppose if you clear your prelims, your entire course fees that you're paying us now will be refunded back to you. Not just this, you will be brought to Delhi before the mains examination, where each and every of your expenses, food related, study related, lodging related, will be borne by StudyIQ, and our intention is to help you clear this exam. To take admissions in the P2I resolution batches, you can go to our website. Before making the payment, if you apply this code ATS Live, you will get maximum discount. So please do not forget to do that. One of the batches start from today itself, that is 7th of May. Do not forget to take admissions there. And as I told you, these batches are separate for 2027 and 2028. If you need any help, there's a number which will flash on the bottom half of your screen. You can call that number and give them my reference. They'll help you out with any query that you have. Now, before we end up our today's discussion, this is the question I was talking about from 2014. Which one of the following are the discretionary powers given to the governor of a state? Okay, so there are 4 discretionary powers that is given in the question. This question can be solved easily if you have followed our today's discussion diligently. Please do let me know the correct answers in the comment section, and the ones who get it right would get a thumbs up from my side. And to download the notes, which you might have troubles looking at it because I was standing in front of it, you can go to the Telegram channel called as ATS Live. And students who are watching this, if you are from state of Tamil Nadu, what do you think, who will form the government? Do let me know in the comment section. Okay, so this is all from my side for today. We'll see each other again tomorrow. Please have a very good night.